All right, 11.2b. Now, what if you are given this equation and it tells you to graph it? Well, in order to graph it, you have to solve for y. So you're going to solve for y and then you graph it or describe what's happening. So if you don't want to graph, describe the graph to me. Tell me what the domain, what the range, what the horizontal, vertical asymptote, all that good stuff is. So here, our goal is to get y by itself, right? So if I need to get y by itself, I'm going to divide by 3x. Does that make sense? So I'm going to divide by 3x. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So we have y equals 1 over 3x. So with 1 over 3x, what that means is that I have a b value. And so I have a b value that equals 3. And your b value affects what on your parent function? The x. It affects your x. So to each one of my x values, remember how it looks like multiplication? It's actually division. I would be dividing each one of my x values in half because it's a shrink. In thirds. I said half, didn't I? Thank you. So when I sketched the graph, did my asymptotes change? No. This is the only place I remember to put graphs, guys. So here are my asymptotes. Oh, gotta love my brain. At x equals 0. At x equals 0 and at y equals 0. And we're at thirds. And so guys, I don't really want to have to count that out. So I'm just gonna pretend that these are thirds. Here is -1. Here's +1. So we're at -1/3, -1. Boom. And we're at +1/3, +1. And then we're just gonna follow the asymptotes. And bam, that's all I wanted us to do, was to find that equation. And guess what? We did. Why? Because we're so smart. We're so smart. All right, on the next one, again, getting this by itself. So what do I need to do to get y by itself? First thing I need to do, anybody, everybody, somebody, add 8. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I have x times y equals 8. And then do what? Divide x. So now we have y equals 8 over x. So that means we have an a value of 8. And who does a affect? The y values. So our a affects our y's. So to each one of our y values, we're going to multiply by 8. So we're now at -8 and +8. Were our asymptotes affected? No, there was no change in C and D. So our asymptotes are not affected. So asymptote still here at x equals 0 and asymptote still here at y equals 0. But we're now at -1, -8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. And we're at +1, 8. Boom. And I'm just going to follow the asymptotes. Follow the asymptotes. Pretend those are the most perfect curves you've ever seen. Easy enough? All right, let's do one more. Well, we were going to do it, but for time's sake, we'll do it together. Really quick, what do I need to do? Divide by 2x. And when I divide by 2x, I'm left with y equals -3 over x. Agree or disagree? Agreed. So A equals -3. And again, our A affects who? Our Y's. So to each one of my Y values, I am multiplying them by -3. And that gives me +3 and -3. Were my asymptotes affected? No, they are still where they need to be at x equals 0, y equals 0. And wham, bam, we're so smart, we are done. There's no effect to our x values. When you simplify, it goes away. Yeah. And follow my asymptotes. Follow my asymptotes. All right. And that concludes part B. 11.2B. Done.